The actions of my neighbor during the storm left me utterly astonished. You won't believe the events that unfolded. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe to keep up with our latest narratives. Storms have always captivated me. Their drama, their raw power, the way they disrupt the ordinary and breathe new life into the world. Yet, what transpired during that specific storm altered the course of events entirely, and it was unrelated to the roar of thunder or the flash of lightning. It revolved around a theme that was profoundly distinct, deeply human, surprising, and filled with exquisite emotion. Lena is my name, and at 47 years of age, I have called the charming suburban enclave of Willow Creek my home for the past decade. The pace of life here unfolds gently, a rhythm that I often find soothing. Yet recently, a sense of restlessness had begun to creep in, as if an elusive element was absent, something I struggled to identify. On that Friday night, solitude enveloped me as I sat in the dim glow of the television, engrossed in a rerun of a classic black and white film. Without warning, the lights began to flicker, and then, in an instant, darkness claimed the room. Excellent, I mused, as I rummaged for candles. Exactly what I was looking for. As I peered through the window, I observed the wind gaining strength, causing the trees to sway dramatically under the brooding sky. Once I had lit a few candles, I enveloped myself in an old quilt bestowed upon me by my mother long ago and nestled onto the couch, prepared to endure the tempest outside. The rain began to pummel the roof, each droplet striking with a persistent cadence, reminiscent of a rhythmic symphony. Amidst the relentless drumming of the rain, a sudden, forceful banging echoed at my front door. My heart leapt in my chest. Who would venture out with a flashlight in hand? With a sense of trepidation, I approached the front door and glanced through the window. There he was, Henry, my neighbor from 2 doors down, standing on my porch, completely drenched. Henry had settled in a few months prior, a reserved yet amiable gentleman in his early 50s who tended to maintain his solitude. We had shared readings and engaged in light banter, yet a genuine conversation between us had never taken place. I flung the door open, taken aback by the sight of him, drenched to the bone. His dark hair clung to his forehead, while his shirt adhered closely to his chest. He appeared to be blushing, his cheeks aglow even in the soft flicker of the candlelight. "Lena, I truly apologize for intruding," he murmured, his voice barely audible over the fierce gusts of wind. "However, a tree has just toppled across my driveway, completely obstructing the road. My power is out as well, and my phone battery has succumbed to the void." I found myself at a loss for direction. I acted without a moment's pause. "Step inside, Henry. You'll freeze to the bone if you stay out there." As he crossed the threshold, I promptly offered him a plush towel, its fabric inviting and warm. He dried himself with a certain clumsiness, offering apologies once more. Though I hesitated to impose, I felt compelled to. Absurdity. I offered him a comforting reassurance. We reside in close proximity to one another. What purpose do we serve if we cannot support one another in the midst of a tempest? At my words, Henry's shoulders visibly eased, and I led him into the living room. In the flickering glow of the candlelight, his features took on a gentler form. I had never observed the vividness of his blue eyes, nor the way the lines at the corners suggested a wealth of untold tales waiting to be shared. He reclined on the couch, a faint tremor coursing through him. "You'd think by now I'd have it all figured out," he chuckled softly, warming his hands together. A soft smile graced my lips. "Storms have a way of surprising us," I responded, my mind wandering beyond the tempest outside to the tumult of my own restless emotions in recent days. I presented him with a steaming cup of tea, a small triumph I had achieved just before the lights flickered and darkness enveloped the room. He grasped it with gratitude, the warmth restoring a flush to his cheeks. As the wind howled outside, our conversation began, initially revolving around the tempest, before delving into the depths of our own lives. Henry had recently settled in Willow Creek, seeking a new beginning after the profound loss of his wife 5 years prior. I was taken aback by his candor. He spoke with a gentle reverence for his late wife, paying homage to her memory with a soft respect. Yet beneath it all, a quiet loneliness echoed profoundly within me. In exchange, I revealed that I had been divorced for 7 years, following a marriage that gradually transformed into a bond of friendship rather than one of love. We drifted away from each other, I confessed quietly, my gaze fixed on the swirling depths of my tea. Isn't it amusing how loneliness can quietly creep into your life? Henry nodded with a contemplative air, his gaze warm and empathetic. The silence, he conceded, is the most challenging part, particularly on evenings such as this. A serene hush enveloped us, punctuated by the soothing cadence of raindrops and the soft dance of candlelight. A sensation began to stir within me, a warmth that had long eluded my grasp. Still, I tread carefully, wary of misinterpreting this blossoming closeness that appeared to flow effortlessly between us. At last, Henry shattered the stillness, his voice barely above a whisper, tinged with uncertainty. "Lena, I appreciate you allowing me to join you this evening. You needn't have done that." In a moment of spontaneity, I found myself reaching out, my hand resting softly on his arm. "I was genuinely pleased that you chose to knock. In truth, tempests such as these evoke a profound sense of solitude that often envelopes me. Sharing it with someone brings a certain warmth." Henry's hand rested delicately over mine. The warmth of his touch stirred something quietly comforting within me. "Likewise," he murmured, his gaze penetrating mine, with genuine emotion illuminating each syllable. "In recent nights, solitude has become my companion, and it's curious how at ease I find myself in this exchange with you." My heart fluttered gently, taken aback and touched by the unforeseen richness of our bond. Outside, thunder rumbled with a fierce resonance, breaking the stillness and amplifying the gravity of the moment. There was an undeniable pull toward Henry, a sensation I hadn't experienced with anyone in ages. As the wind howled with increasing ferocity and lightning cast flickering shadows across the room, we both sensed the fragility and unpredictability of this moment. A flush of warmth spread across my cheeks, enveloping me in a sudden wave of shyness. Henry cleared his throat softly, attuned to my uncertainty. "Lena," he murmured, shattering the stillness that enveloped us. "I wish to avoid complicating either of our lives, yet I find myself eager to understand you more deeply, perhaps even explore the potential of what we could become, if that aligns with your desires." His sincerity moved me profoundly, evoking tears that I swiftly brushed aside. "I would appreciate that, Henry," I murmured with sincerity. "Let us wait and observe our emotions once the tempest has subsided." He offered a gentle smile, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. "Indeed, take your time, free from anticipation." Throughout the tempestuous night, we remained side by side, sharing tales and gently nurturing a friendship that was both fresh and reassuringly known. A flicker of hope and possibility ignited within me, a sensation I had almost lost touch with. As dawn drew near, the tempest waned, both in the world beyond and within the heart. Yet the true surprise of the night, the one that astonished me the most, wasn't the howling storm or the toppled trees, but the unforeseen warmth I found in Henry. Little did I realize the profound transformation that awaited us, yet one truth stood clear in my mind. The tempest had ushered in an unforeseen change, and retreat was no longer an option. The morning unfolded softly, as delicate rays of sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting intricate patterns upon the wooden floor. Outside, branches are strewn across yards, leaves carpeting the streets, remnants of the tempestuous weather that swept through last night. Yet within the confines of my home, the echoes of the storm narrated an alternate tale, one woven with threads of vulnerability, warmth, and unforeseen companionship. Henry departed soon after the sun broke the horizon, intent on evaluating the destruction at his home. Yet the echo of his presence remained in my mind long after the door clicked shut behind him. The way his gaze lingered on mine as he spoke, the genuine softness in his tone, these subtle nuances echoed endlessly in my thoughts, bringing a private smile to my lips as I sipped my morning coffee. That afternoon, while I collected the fallen branches scattered across the yard, I caught sight of Henry making his way back, his pace deliberate as he ambled along the street. His footsteps faltered for a moment at the edge of my property, then resumed with a steady assurance as he approached me. Once more he called out, a warm smile gracing his face. It appears you have a significant tidying task ahead of you. I chuckled gently, tucking stray wisps of hair behind my ear. Could be worse. How does your home appear these days? Honestly, it's not great. He let out a soft sigh, his fingers brushing against the nape of his neck as a wry smile played on his lips. The tree has toppled my fence and inflicted damage upon a section of the roof. I will be occupied for some time. To my own astonishment, I found myself responding without delay. I am here to assist you. 2 sets of hands surpass a single pair. Henry appeared momentarily surprised by my proposal, but soon a warm gratitude eased into his features. Do you truly believe that, Lena? You have more than enough of your own chaos. I positioned my hands confidently on my hips, teasingly daring him to respond. Without a doubt. Moreover, I am indebted to you for your companionship last night. His face lit up with a sincere smile, soft lines appearing around his blue eyes. In that instance, I humbly accept with gratitude. As we strolled alongside each other toward Henry's house, I couldn't help but ponder the ease with which his presence enveloped me. Even though our time together had been so fleeting, in his presence, a sense of ease enveloped me, a sensation I hadn't encountered in quite some time, rendering the task ahead less formidable. Henry's property stood in a state of disrepair. A colossal tree sprawled across his driveway, its splintered wood and gnarled branches strewn haphazardly across the yard. He surveyed his surroundings, a subtle shake of his head accompanying his unwavering optimism. It seems that Mother Nature had different intentions for my weekend. We shared a gentle laugh, reveling in a moment of shared delight. Before long, we immersed ourselves in the task at hand, trimming and relocating branches, clearing away debris, and ultimately forming neat little piles by the curb. Time slipped away effortlessly, our dialogue unfolding with an ease that suggested a long-standing familiarity. In the quiet moments of our breaks, Henry recounted tales from his past, while I found the courage to reveal my own dreams and fears, thoughts that had remained unspoken for years. The connection that began in the soft glow of last night's candles grew ever more profound under the vast expanse of the sky, fortified by shared understanding and a gentle trust. As we lingered in the late afternoon, resting against the porch railing and savoring cold lemonade, Henry's expression shifted to one of contemplation, his eyes drifting toward the sky. Isn't it amusing? He pondered softly. Occasionally, the most tumultuous tempests unveil the clearest insights. I traced his gaze to the heavens, observing the pristine sky that had been tumultuous with clouds just hours before. I found myself pondering something akin to that, I confessed quietly, shifting to meet his gaze. Perhaps, at times, a touch of chaos serves as a poignant reminder of our deep yearning for connection. Henry turned to me, his gaze softly probing my features, as if he could glimpse the unvoiced fragility I had concealed from the world for so long. Lena, I have devoted considerable time to persuading myself that I could stand alone, without the need for anyone else. In that solitude lay a profound strength. He hesitated, his voice faltering just a bit. Yet, in your presence, I come to understand that I have been deceiving myself. My breath hitched in my throat, stirred by the gentle earnestness of his words. With deliberate care, I extended my hand, resting it softly atop his. His fingers curled gently around mine, a warmth emanating from that unassuming touch. Perhaps we both required that tempest more than we realized. I whispered softly, gazing down at our entwined fingers. His voice carried a gentle, contemplative quality. Perhaps it is destiny, Lena. Life jolts us from slumber, urging us to recognize what has eluded our grasp. We lingered in silence for a heartbeat, taking in the profoundness of the experience. A quiet tension enveloped the air, a fragile expectancy that resonated more profoundly than any spoken phrase. At last, Henry shattered the stillness, his voice soft and personal. May I have the pleasure of taking you out for dinner sometime, Lena? I would truly appreciate the opportunity to meet with you once more, in a more purposeful environment. Instantly, warmth spread through my heart, and a smile gradually blossomed across my face. "I would truly appreciate that, Henry." His expression illuminated, a blend of relief and excitement dancing across his features. "Good," he murmured, a soft chuckle escaping his lips. "To be frank, I felt a wave of anxiety at the thought of you declining." I grasped his hand with a comforting touch. "There's no possibility, not after all that we've experienced together." The sun started its descent toward the horizon, enveloping Henry's yard in a warm golden light that danced softly in his eyes. A delicate tenderness blossomed between us, an unexpected yet vivid bond that neither of us had foreseen. Nevertheless, it resonated with sincerity, undeniably genuine. As I strolled home that evening, a sense of lightness enveloped me, filling me with hope. Life had astonished me in the most delightful manner, revealing how deeply warmth, kindness, and unforeseen connections could enhance our existence, particularly during moments we least anticipated. As I settled into bed that night, my thoughts drifted to Henry, his kindness, his openness, and the genuine vulnerability he so effortlessly displayed. It had been an eternity since I last experienced such hope for another person. Could this tempest genuinely have transformed everything? Though I lacked all the answers, an unfamiliar excitement stirred within me, urging me to seek them out for the first time in years. In the hushed stillness of my bedroom, where the gentle murmur of evening crickets floated in through the open window, I uttered a silent expression of gratitude to the tempest, to destiny, and above all, to Henry. Unbeknownst to me, the profound emotional landscape of this journey was merely unfolding, and the forthcoming experiences would transform us in ways we had yet to fathom. As the days unfolded, they slipped by with a quiet grace, each moment delicately threaded with reflections of Henry. A smile crept onto my face, a reflexive response to the flood of memories from our conversations and the gentle warmth of his presence. At 47, I found myself in an unexpected state, akin to a scoldrel, my heart racing with anticipation each time I stole a glance at his house, anxiously awaiting a phone call that may never come. At long last, the much-anticipated day of our dinner had come. Henry proposed we visit the delightful Italian eatery nestled downtown, a quaint family-run establishment celebrated for its warm lighting and inviting ambience. A wave of nerves and excitement washed over me, a sensation I hadn't experienced in ages. As the evening approached, I took great care in my attire, selecting a simple yet elegant blue dress that accentuated the brightness of my eyes. As I gazed at my reflection in the mirror, I couldn't help but smile, observing how the thrill of anticipation had gently softened my features, bestowing upon me a youthful radiance I had nearly forgotten. As Henry appeared at my doorstep, a soft smile gracing his lips, I found myself momentarily breathless. He donned a sharp navy button-down shirt, the sleeves nonchalantly rolled up, paired with dark slacks that accentuated his strong, understated presence. He gave me a single rose, its color rich and its scent delicately sweet. "You look beautiful, Lena," he said quietly, his warm gaze reflecting genuine sincerity. With a gentle flush creeping across my cheeks, I took the rose, allowing its sweet scent to envelop me. "My sincere gratitude, Henry. You possess a certain charm that is undeniably attractive." In the cozy embrace of the restaurant, we nestled into a corner table, bathed in the gentle glow of soft golden lights. Soft melodies floated through the air, crafting an atmosphere that welcomed vulnerability and closeness. The dialogue unfolded seamlessly, interspersed with bursts of laughter and serene pauses of mutual comprehension. Henry's eyes glimmered with a soft wit as he reminisced about his younger days, and I found myself sharing tales from my own history, astonished at how effortlessly vulnerability flowed in our conversation. As we reached the midpoint of our meal, a thoughtful look settled on Henry's face, a subtle pause flickering across his features. He set his fork aside with care, locking his gaze onto mine with a weighty contemplation. "Lena," he started with caution, "there's a matter weighing on my heart that I must reveal to you, something that has lingered in my thoughts since the storm." I halted, my heart racing unexpectedly. "Please go on," I urged gently, attempting to mask the faint unease that began to surface. He inhaled slowly and deeply, as though collecting his scattered thoughts. Years have passed since I last permitted myself to experience these feelings for another person. Since the passing of Rose, my beloved wife, I have restrained my emotions. I believed that closing myself off from vulnerability was a way to shield myself from suffering. Yet, upon encountering you, I came to understand that I had been depriving myself of something vital. His honesty resonated within me, prompting an instinctive gesture as I reached across the table, softly laying my hand over his. Henry, I appreciate you sharing this with me. It is entirely understandable to approach life with caution after experiencing the profound loss of someone you cherish deeply. Yet, embracing vulnerability and allowing ourselves to experience profound emotions is what imbues life with significance. His eyes softened with gratitude, a wave of relief sweeping over his expression. You are absolutely correct, Lena, and that is precisely why this evening holds such significance for me. I have decided to embrace vulnerability once more, to take the chance on experiencing something profound with you again. His words filled my heart with a profound warmth, spreading through my chest like a gentle embrace. I share your sentiments completely, I murmured, a blend of vulnerability and security enveloping me in his presence. I have devoted countless hours to the art of feigning that I was entirely content in my solitude. Yet, beneath the surface, a longing for genuine connection has been stirring within me. In the midst of that tempest, your arrival illuminated the void I had been unaware of. In that serene moment, we found a deep connection, our fingers gently entwined upon the tablecloth, relishing the warmth of our blossoming intimacy. Following our meal, we meandered through the town, bathed in the gentle light of the street lamps. The evening air was refreshingly crisp, with a soft breeze whispering through the leaves that danced around us. In a moment unbidden by thought, my hand sought out Henry's, our fingers weaving together with an effortless grace. It resonated deeply, uncomplicated yet imbued with significance. As we strolled by a quaint park, bathed in the gentle glow of moonlight, Henry came to a halt, turning delicately in my direction. In the hushed tranquility, he lifted his hand to delicately sweep a wayward strand of hair from my face, his fingertips lingering tenderly against my cheek. Lena, he whispered, his voice soft and earnest, encountering you has awakened in me the joy of sharing life with another. This caught me off guard. I never imagined it could be achievable. Yet, in your presence, I find myself unwilling to release this sensation. My breath hitched, my heartbeat racing at the genuine emotion reflected in his gaze. I feel the same way, Henry. You have unlocked the depths of my heart in ways I believed were gone for good. He edged closer, a deliberate pause hanging in the air, as if seeking my consent. With a sense of certainty, I raised my face, gently resting my forehead against his. Our moment was quiet and meaningful, a connection deeper than words could ever express. In that fleeting instant under the shimmering moonlight, the solitude that had characterized our recent years vanished entirely. As we separated, Henry leaned in, his forehead resting softly against mine, eyes shut, as though he were relishing the profoundness of the moment. I never imagined I would experience this once more, he admitted softly. Neither do I murmured in response, my fingers gently tracing the contours of his face. I appreciate your willingness to take a chance. As we strolled home, fingers intertwined under the shimmering stars, a sense of transformation washed over me, lighter, filled with hope, and deeply in touch with my emotions. That unexpected evening opened something within us, letting connection and trust fill spaces once long ignored. At my doorstep, Henry halted, pivoting to meet my gaze with a gentle look in his eyes. Thank you, Lena, for this evening. For all things, I smiled gently, clasping his hand with tenderness. This evening, Henry's merely the start, Henry. I hold that conviction deeply. As he strolled back to his abode, a deep sense of gratitude enveloped my heart. Life had astonished me, had astonished us, in a manner neither of us had ever envisioned. A surge of renewal coursed through me, an emotional awakening that forged a profound connection, igniting a thrilling anticipation for what lies ahead. At that moment, I had no inkling that our adventure was merely commencing, and the most significant revelation awaited us just around the corner. The ensuing weeks unfolded like a surreal tapestry, each day pulsating with an intensity that outshone the one before. Henry and I devoted every moment we could to one another, indulging in leisurely strolls, serene nights, and a seamless camaraderie that I had long thought was a thing of the past. My previously isolated existence had transformed into a realm that was warmer, more vibrant, and infinitely more satisfying. On a bright afternoon, while we savored coffee on my front porch, Henry turned to me with a contemplative look, his eyes soft yet earnest. "It's curious, isn't it, Lena? I've been reflecting on the peculiar twist of fate that brought our paths together on that tempestuous night. It seems as though destiny has chosen to intervene." I smiled gently, settling in with ease against him. I shared that very sentiment. A storm I never anticipated would usher in such a remarkable gift into my existence. He clasped my hand with a tender warmth. I did not either. Years have passed since I last experienced such a profound connection with someone, and the thought of returning to anything less is unimaginable. The stillness of our contemplation was pierced by the rumble of distant thunder, a stark reminder of the night when our journey first commenced. Clouds amassed gradually in the heavens, their soft murmurs a comforting reminder of the splendor that can emerge from disorder. As the evening wore on and rain softly drummed against the window panes, Henry caught me off guard by retrieving an old photograph from his wallet. His expression held a gentle nostalgia as he passed it to me. "This was Rose," he murmured, a soft reverence lacing his words. "This photo has been my constant companion since her departure. Yet tonight seems to be the moment to finally release it." With meticulous attention, I scrutinized the aged photograph. Rose was a delightful woman, her smile radiating warmth and authenticity. One who was unmistakably adored and profoundly treasured. My heart constricted with a blend of empathy and gratitude at Henry's candidness. She possessed an exquisite beauty, Henry. She must have been truly remarkable, I murmured with genuine feeling. He inclined his head softly, his gaze contemplative. She existed. She imparted the significance of loving freely, without a trace of regret. For years, I believed I would never experience that sensation once more. Yet now, Lena, I have discovered something truly remarkable in our connection. You have resurrected my spirit. Tears clouded my sight as I delicately returned the photograph to his grasp. Henry, I cannot convey the depth of my gratitude for your willingness to share this with me. I wish to pay tribute to your past experiences, to acknowledge your losses, and to treasure the journey we are embarking on together. He gazed at me with intensity, his eyes glimmering gently. That sentiment resonates with me, Lena. Encountering you has revealed to me that love knows no bounds. Our hearts grow larger. They do not substitute. Never did I envision that such profound feelings could resurface within me, yet here we stand, and it feels undeniably right. As we embraced, my heart swelled, and we shared a quiet embrace as the rain tapped softly on the windows. It was a moment steeped in quiet gratitude, a collective recognition of loss, growth, and the intricate beauty of discovering love anew. Weeks passed, and then Henry extended an invitation for a weekend escape to a cabin tucked away in the nearby mountains. The ambience was idyllic, serene, and profoundly enchanting. We wandered for hours along picturesque trails, sharing laughter and engaging in profound conversations under a canopy of stars that felt astonishingly near. On our final evening, as we nestled beside the crackling fireplace, enveloped in a soft quilt, Henry turned to me, his gaze both warm and vulnerable. Lena, the last few months have reshaped me in ways I never imagined. Never did I imagine I would encounter someone who comprehends me as you do. You have rekindled the warmth within my heart, infusing my existence with a joy that surpasses my wildest dreams. Feelings surged inside me, my eyes glistening with joy. I share your sentiments completely, Henry. You have rekindled the essence of who I am. Life without you seems unfathomable to me now. He delved into his pocket, retrieving a delicate velvet box. My heart soared, breath hitching as a wave of anticipation surged within me. Henry's voice quivered just a bit, with genuine emotion woven into each phrase. Lena, fate intertwined our paths in the most unforeseen manner, amidst a tempest, a fallen tree, and a soft rap upon your door. With every fiber of my being, I am convinced that our paths were destined to intertwine. This evening, I wish to pose a question to you. Will you take my hand in marriage? Tears cascaded down my cheeks as I nodded enthusiastically, a soft laugh escaping, a melody of pure joy. Indeed, Henry, without a doubt, I will marry you. He slid a delicate, shimmering ring onto my finger, then enveloped me softly in his embrace. We shared a meaningful moment by the fire, surrounded by quiet and warmth, a promise to wholeheartedly embrace the unforeseen, beautiful journey that life had bestowed upon us. Upon our return, we joyfully conveyed our delightful news to friends and neighbors. Their heartfelt congratulations resonated with the profound joy we both experienced within. Yet, in the quiet corners of our hearts, we recognized that our genuine celebration was much more subdued, profoundly rooted in a mutual comprehension of love that emerged from vulnerability, transparency, and the bravery to be emotionally exposed. Months passed, and we exchanged vows in a cozy, intimate ceremony in our backyard, enveloped by the warmth of a handful of cherished friends, neighbors, and family. Our vows encapsulated our journey, sincere, poignant, and profoundly moving. As I faced Henry, gazing into his eyes, I realized with certainty that this tempest, both in the skies and within our hearts, had led us precisely to this moment we were meant to embrace. As the evening wore on and twilight enveloped us in its gentle embrace, Henry grasped my hand with tenderness, his smile radiating warmth. Prepared for whatever lies ahead, Mrs. Anderson. I clasped his hand with tenderness, a wave of gratitude washing over me, intertwined with a sense of hopeful anticipation. As long as we confront it side by side, Henry, I am prepared for anything that comes our way. We gathered beneath a sky slowly adorned with stars, our hearts intertwined through vulnerability, openness, and a deep sense of respect for one another. Our journey unfolded in ways we could never have anticipated, filled with profound emotions and transformative experiences that reshaped our lives in unimaginable ways. As we confronted the horizon ahead, a singular truth emerged. In unison, we unearthed a profound truth: the bravery to embrace love with depth, transparency, and an absence of remorse. And that was worth every tempest we had ever encountered.